Today we're going to be looking at angle relationships. So before we talked about defining what different types of angles there are, you could have complementary, you could have supplementary, you could have vertical angles, you can have adjacent angles. Now we're going to solve algebraic equations involving these angles and using their relationships to come up with the equations. So in number one, if we take a look at these two angles, first thing you got to do is define what kind of angles are there. So here in this diagram, okay, we have this angle and this angle. These two are vertical angles. So when you have vertical angles, you are going to set the expressions equal to each other since they are congruent. So you set 2x plus 4 equal to 3x minus 50. And then solve for x. So 4 is x minus 50. Add 50 to both sides. As you get 54 is x. Now, that's not the answer. We have to plug it back in. Okay, or actually I would do the other one. It's 2 times 54. 2 times 54 plus 4. It doesn't matter. 2 times 54 plus 4 is 112 degrees. So this is 112 degrees. If that's 112 degrees, that means this one is also 112 degrees. Right? 3 times 54 minus 50, you can check. 3 times 54 minus 50 is 112 degrees. So that works. The other two angles are supplementary. So remember, we have a straight line here. So we're going to figure out 180 minus 112. And that's 68 degrees. The other angle is vertical to that right here. And so this is also 68 degrees. All right, let's take a look at number 4. The measure of a complement of an angle is 20 less than the measure of the angle. Okay, so with this one, I draw a diagram. Complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. So I'm going to make my 90-degree angle. Make my little box. Okay, I'm going to have two angles in between them. One is 20 less than the other. So we have one angle here, which we'll call x. The other angle, which is x minus 20. Complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. So we have x plus x minus 20 is 90 degrees. Solve for x. So you get 2x is 110. Divide both sides by 2. You get x is 55. Plug it back in. So that is 55 degrees. And the other one is 55 minus 20, which is 35 degrees. And we can double check that 55 and 35, they add up to 90. So those are my two angles. So again, we define the relationship between the two. Okay. First one we had, they were equal. This one they added up to 90. Now if we have something that's supplementary, like the next one, supplementary form a straight line. So we have two angles that form a straight line. One is 6 less than twice the angle. So this might not be drawn to scale. So 6 less than is minus 6 from twice the angle, 2x minus 6. And the other one is just x. Their relationship is when you add them together, they equal 180 degrees. Combine like terms. Add 6 to both sides. And then we get 186. Divide both sides by 3. And you get 62. Plug it in. So this is going to be 62 degrees. Luckily, I drew it to scale. And this angle right here is going to be 2 times 62 minus 6, which is 118. And this angle right here, we know is 180 degrees. And 118 plus 62 add up to 180 degrees. So, like I said before making your equation, define the relationship. Okay, is it supplementary? Do they add up to 180? Is it complementary? Do they add up to 90? Are they vertical? Okay, or do they have a certain angle sum? That's what's going to help you create your equation. So that's it for today's video. Set up these equations, solve them, plug them back in, and let me know if you have any questions in class.